A very good afternoon from the Perth Hockey Stadium here at Curtin University. It is no doubt they'll be enjoying the hockey. It's two lots of finals this weekend, and first up we have the qualifying final, which is against Hale and WASPS. And if we look at the league table, you'll see just how close it was at the end of the round-robin season. Hale, in the end, finishing just above WASPS with 38 points, and in third place, in fact, just below WASPS. WASPS had 39 points, so just the 1 point. Hale was second, I'm getting confused here, 50 points, and then WASPS in third point. So a bit of a gap between the two teams, but there's not much to choose between the two teams when it comes to the fact that WASPS conceded the most goals in the top 5 teams, and Hale conceded the second most goals. But if you look at it, Hale scored the most goals. So there's going to be a real battle royal here today, and you feel there will be goals in this match. Well, before we got the game underway, we managed to catch up with players from both camps. And first up, we managed to catch up with a man who's coached Hale. He's also been their captain, and that is Tim Deven. Well, Tim, second on the ladder after the home and away season, missing out on the minor premiership by just 1 point. Is there a tinge of disappointment amongst the team, or is it more a case of unfinished business?
I don't think so. For me personally, I think finishing first is a detriment. Having the week off in the past has never helped any of the teams I've played for. So I think finishing second, obviously for us, is going to help us the way that we're going to be playing anyway.
Also, there was a big gap at the top of the table with Hale and Melville, 11 and 12 points clear of third place WASPS, which would tend to imply that these two teams are the teams to beat in the finals. But do you feel that's not going to be the case and the league form is irrelevant now?
Yeah, definitely not the case. Obviously, both of us have umpires doing a lot of the games, so maybe there's something there. I don't know.
I'm sure not.
No.
Anyway, Hale scored the most goals in the league, and Liam Flynn was once again topped the goal scoring for this season with 25 goals in 22 matches. How important is it for you as a team for him to fire, or is there adequate cover in terms of goal scorers within the side?
Well, we've got obviously Rasmussen back now. He's a prolific scorer for us as well. So we've got 3 or 4 good strikers up there, or goal scorers, I should say. So obviously he's really important, but we do have other people who can put goals in the net as well.
And then Hale have only won 1 premiership back in 2010. Is the belief there that 2019 is your year and a second title is coming your way?
Well, it's never anyone's year. It's just who's better on the day. And, we've prepared well and we've been playing well. So, if we can keep that going, then we're going to put ourselves in with a good chance.
Well, Tim, thanks for your time and all the best.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Well, that was Tim Deven, of course, representing Hale Hockey Club in this qualifying final today. And they'll be hoping that they can really get a result and just progress in the finals series. Well, another team that's taking part in this match is WASPS, better known as Wesley South Perth Hockey Club. And we managed to catch up with their captain, Hale Walsh. Well, Hale, it's been a bit of an up and down season for WASPS in 2019. Why do you think that's been?
It has been. We started off pretty rough. We got hammered by Melville and had players coming in and out all year. So just getting that balance right. We've had a new coach in Dean Evans, but he's implemented a few things which have been really beneficial for our group. And in the second half of the year, we've really seen them coming to the fore, and we've done a fair bit better, which is really positive for our group.
Now, despite an up and down season, you are in the finals again, and apart from a defeat in your final league season, you look to be hitting form at just the right time in the season. Is that how it feels?
Yeah, the group's really happy. It's really enjoying its hockey at the moment. We had a bit of a hiccup against Wolves the last round of the season, but we still ended up third, which is exactly where we wanted to be. But everyone's happy. Like, most of the players are in really good nick at the moment, feeling fit, feeling healthy, and we reckon we're going to give it a really good tilt.
When we caught up with you at the beginning of the season, you said that when the players are enjoying themselves, that's when WASPS play their best hockey. Does that mean that there's a fun and relaxed mood in the camp at the moment?
Yeah, the boys are always joking around. It's a really close-knit group. We love going out, enjoying each other's company, and that doesn't change. And again, it translates to the field, and I think that's been part of the key to the success over the years. So, and if we can bring that to the field on Saturday, I think once again we give ourselves a really good shot.
Well, you mentioned that success over the years. You've been in the finals the past 6 seasons, but you've only managed one premiership. Does the pain of the defeats in those other seasons spur you on this time around?
Yeah, it hurts. You remember the losses pretty closely. I mean, last year we lost in the prelim and the grand final, then we won, then we lost another grand final, and then prelims. You don't forget them, and you also remember how good it is to win, and that's the feeling we all want to reciprocate, and for the new guys to let them experience it as well. So that's exactly our goal. Again, we've got to put in the work for the next few weeks, and hopefully at the end of that we can get the result that we want.
If you look last year, your women came through and won all the games to lift the premiership there. Do you gain any inspiration from them?
Our girls have been exceptional over the last couple of years. They've won 2 flags out of 2 grand finals, and apart from the little bit of jealousy that I think all the boys have that they've done that, it certainly does. From a club perspective, that's huge for us. So being able to get down and hopefully reciprocate or copy what they've done is high on our priority list, and for the club's perspective, that's exactly what we're looking to do.
Well, Cal, thanks for your time and all the best.
Cheers, Ash.
Well, that was Cal Walsh, the captain of WASPS, and you can see the team lineups now, and the players I believe you need to look out for in this match are number 1, Alec Rasmussen for Hale Hockey Club. Liam Flynn as well, wearing number 15. He's the leading goal scorer yet again in the Premier 1 men's grade. But you've got to rely on former Kookaburra Tim Deven, and also Josh Belts being in the side is a big result for Hale. Turning our attention to WASPS, and key players I believe for them are Daniel Rainey wearing number 3. He combines really well in the midfield with Bryn de Bez wearing number 5. Duncan Pearce, well, he is the second highest converter for penalty corners in the competition, so he could be crucial wearing number 7. And James Richardson, who's missed the last few games with a neck injury, is back for WASPS in goal, and that will be crucial for them. Looking at the coaches of both teams, well, Dave Staniforth is not here today to coach Hale. He's up in Rockhampton with the Kookaburras in the Oceania Cup. So that means that Stuart Van Selm has taken over the reins, a fellow South African hailing from Cape Town. And the coach of WASPS is Dean Evans. Our umpires for this match, Melissa Trivich and Brodie Foster. I'm Ashley Morrison, looking forward to bringing you all the action today. And I'd just like to thank our sponsors, FMG, Ausdrill, Danks Furniture, Tiger Turf and Kookaburra. Well, it will be WASPS to get this match underway. Paul Robertson standing over the ball. It is a wonderful day. There's a slight breeze, so it shouldn't be too hot. And the crowd is beginning to fill up down below us and around in the sunshine. And we're looking forward to a wonderful afternoon's matches. Of course, there is another match coming up, an elimination final after this one. So we hope you'll stay with us. The whistle goes, and the qualifying final is underway. Who will come out on top in this match? Some really strong battles between these two. Previously in 2017, they met in the qualifying final. Of course, WASPS came out on top in that match 4-2. And dare I say, that was actually the last time that WASPS managed to beat Hale. So it's been a good run for Hale in the last 2 years, but we've had a lot of goals, 36 goals in the last 7 meetings between these two teams, and you feel there's going to be some goals today. Almost breaking forward, Gibbs picks it up, feels it to Lachlan Sampson. Sampson again, to me, is a key player for WASPS. If he can get in behind the defence, as he has in the games when they've performed well and caused problems, then that will be a real test at the back for Hale. Dave Staniforth, the coach of Hale, did say he was going to be watching this from Rockhampton. Well, hopefully he is. And I should just wish a happy birthday to his replacement, because Stuart Van Selm, it's his birthday today, 7th of September. And he'll be hoping that he can celebrate with a victory today. Lovely pass into the midfield. Chance now for Josh Bowen. Bowen dispossessed, though. And Wasps looking to break forward. Again, it was just held up a little bit by McIntyre, but he gets the return pass. Really good pass it was from Bryn de Bez, too. But Hale steal it back. Good work by Rasmussen. Good to see him back on the park. He had a bout of osteitis pubis, returned to Townsville, although he calls Perth home these days. That is originally where he's from, and he was just resting up there. He's such a talented player. And that's a good bounce, a lucky bounce almost for Jeff Cock. Wasps gain possession back. De Bez looks to get on the end of that. He's got McIntyre ahead of him. Also Joel Mitten at the back post. Goes to McIntyre. Look to just dink it past the first defender. Appeals for a free hit coming from Benji Austin. Not given, and it's cleared over the sideline. There's Pearce. Goes to Gibbs. Made him stretch a little bit, but Gibbs, he's lost that in the end to Josh Belts. Belts again, one of the young Australian talents who has just been plagued by injury, and it's great to see him actually injury-free for a good spell now. And that, I'm sure, will result in him having more confidence. He makes his way forward now to take the free hit just outside the 23 metres. Takes a touch, fires it straight in. No one inside the circle able to get a deflection. And Richardson just lets it run into the backboard. Certainly both teams have started at a fair pace, looking to stamp their authority on the game early. Just lost there by Justin Knapp, and a chance, but Deven stepped across. That was really good to stop the ball getting through to Robertson. It's won back again, though, by Pearce illegally, says the umpire. So it will be a free hit. Pushed forward to Josh Bone by Braden King. Another pass to Rasmussen into the circle. That is a brilliant pass. Shot on the turn, goal on the turn. What a start that is. Liam Flynn was found by a brilliant pass by Rasmussen. We said that they would be a key, and Flynn in space inside the circle makes absolutely no mistake, and it is Hale 1, WASPS 0. So what a start that is for Hale. It was a great pass by Rasmussen. Well, if you look at the two of those players, 25 goals for Flynn in the season, Rasmussen with 5, so 30 goals out of the 82 scored this season by Hale, coming from that pairing. And as I mentioned, Rasmussen away for a long part of the season, recuperating from osteitis pubis. Belts winning that. Chance to play out from the back. Tim Deven now on the reverse stick. Good pass from him. Makes its way forward to Lachlan Ashton. Ashton cuts infield. Full stretch. Good defence from Wasps. And De Beers uses his stick work. Pulls away from Deven. Now it's Rainey. Rainey, though, held up. Deven closes him down. Rainey's gone down a blind alley. And Tim Deven managed to steal it, but illegally. So Wasps will be a little bit disappointed having conceded that goal. Earlier in the season, they lost 3-2 in a tightly fought match in round 5. And then it was 3-3 when they met later in the season in round 15. So there's not a lot to choose between these two teams, as I mentioned, although Hale probably with the upper hand in terms of goal scoring. Wasps have been in the finals the last 6 years. They will not want to bow out early this time around. Gibbs tries to go infield. It's a really good deflection coming from Sam Ashton this time. And this time a little push coming from Liam Flynn. Flynn not happy with the decision coming from Melissa Trivich, who of course announced her retirement from the international panel of umpires earlier this year. That's a lovely steal again in the midfield from Belts, and Belts tried to link up with Deven. Belts, though, Richardson saves. Comes back to Belts, feeds it wide. Into the goal it goes, and Flynn has got a second. Well, this really is the perfect start for Hale. Liam Flynn with 2 goals in 4 minutes. And this time it was Josh Belts who set him up. The rebound came back to Belts and unselfishly fed it back to Liam Flynn, who was unmarked. And so 2-0. Probably seems the right time to say that Liam Flynn got a hat-trick the last time these two met. Well, he's got 2 already in the first 7 minutes of this match. So the ideal start for Hale. Just wonder what's gone on at the back there. Just Flynn unmarked. on 2 occasions now, and you cannot leave a goal scorer as prolific as him unmarked. Jamie Walsh now for the long corner, trying to spark something. Into the circle it goes. McIntyre tries to create some space, but just caught the toe of his shoe, so it will be a 16 to Hale. Justin Knapp plays it out wide. Breaking forward now. Lovely run again from Sampson. Sampson, though, he caught his own foot. It's a good pass into space, though the ball ricocheting away, or just bouncing away rather, from Benji Austin. Gibbs plays that one into the foot of Sam Ashton. Sam Ashton, just 17 years of age, is tipped as a player with quite a future at the moment. Goes to Hale. Just over the side it goes, off the stick of Josh Belts. Well, the worrying thing for Wasps is when they've lost this season, they've lost heavily. So they would need, or would want, to get a goal back, you would think, as quickly as possible, ideally before the end of the first quarter. Comes across now, Hale Walsh spreads it wide to Gibbs. Gibbs cuts infield, leaves Ashton on the turf. Comes off the foot of Lachlan Ashton. Now Joel Mitten plays it down the line, and just a touch coming off the stick there of Braden King. Braden King, who was voted the player of the tournament at the National Under-21s competition earlier this year. So again, another bright future ahead for him. He's been selected for the Sultan of Johor Cup in October. Gibbs drills that one across, but just lifted it too high. So Justin Knapp over the ball again. That's a good lead again in the midfield from Josh Bowen. Had to be played over the side by Robinson. We're about to enter the final 5 minutes of the first quarter. It's absolutely flown by. But 2 goals to the good at the moment for Hale. Liam Flynn having scored both of those. Devon, a little bit of space, pushes it wide. Just trying to come in from the right-hand side was Blake Wallace. Devon again, short little jab towards Rasmussen. And then he leans into the back of Bryn de Bez. Lucky to get away with that one, Tim Devon, in my opinion. So just over the side it goes. Duncan Pearce will leave that one behind. Duncan Pearce, who originally from New South Wales, and according to Hale and Jamie Walsh's mum, is now their adopted son. So ball in from the side. Blake Wallace for Hale cracks it down the side, and Rasmussen, he got away from Hale Walsh, but he didn't manage to get the ball under control. Comes infield to Rainey. Rainey's not had many touches in this first quarter. Again, just lifted up, danger. So free hit goes the way of Hale again. Braden King looked to play on, but umpire not happy. The position he took it from is where the offence occurred. And Melissa Trivic just coming forward and having a word with Tim Devon. Tim Devon, obviously a big smile on his face, loves a chat with the umpires. But it's getting a little bit physical out there. Into the circle it goes, and the deflection was a very, very good one. But it just went wide. Liam Flynn getting ahead of his marker again. And it just whistled past Richardson's post. Not sure he would have got anywhere near it had it been inside the post. Lachlan Sampson now takes on Wallace, gets ahead of him. Sampson has to double back, slips, keeps possession though, pushes it forward for Robertson, but good defence coming across this time from Benji Austin. Austin just flicks it into the air, collected well. What a pass again. That was Rasmussen. Great awareness to pick out Jeff Cock. Cock, edge of the circle, manages to find a foot. It's taken quickly by Cock. Wasps at 6s and 7s at the back. Cock continues to go, runs into Hale Walsh. Walsh tries to steal it. It's caught the foot, and it's a penalty corner. So the first penalty corner of the match goes the way of Hale. Hale have scored 18 penalty corners this season. And Liam Flynn is one of their key weapons from penalty corners. The question is, can he get a first quarter hat-trick? That would be remarkable if he could. Now Flynn is loitering at the top of the circle. He's at the first battery. Jeff Cock is at the second. Richardson just trying to get all his defenders in position. And the first runner is going to have to close down. Comes out, they go with Cock. Cock fires. Richardson saves the ball, gets stuck underneath him, trying to scramble it clear. And in the end, it was a stick block coming in from the Hale player. So Wasps have survived that moment. Richardson with a sharp save low down to his right-hand side. Just for a moment, it looked as if the ball was going to get stuck underneath his body, and that would have resulted in another penalty corner right at the end of this first quarter. Rainey just looked up as he received that pass and didn't look up when he played that pass. And then he's moaning at the players in front of him, but I'm afraid only has himself to blame. Wallace goes infield, short little pass to Bowen. Bowen turns away from Joel Mitten, manages to find Devon, but just an unlucky bounce for the veteran. Hale Walsh goes infield now. Brynda Bears, can he spark something? Too far ahead of Lachlan Sampson, who won't be able to keep that in play. Minute and a half left in the first quarter. Still plenty of time left in this match, of course, for Wasps to come back, and I'm sure Dean Evans will be very keen to get them off the pitch and reorganise the defence slightly. Bowen again, great awareness as he played that out wide to Braden King. King got underneath that on the reverse stick and lifted it very high, and Rasmussen, even though he did try and bring it down, never really had a chance. Hale Walsh this time flicks it in the air. Gibbs brings it down, but couldn't bring it down under control, and it bounces away to Knapp. Knapp feeds it forward. Jeff Cock penalised by Rainey. Like I said, Jeff Cock penalised by Rainey. He was fouled by Rainey, rather, and Rainey penalised. Brought down again by Braden King. Josh Belts. And he's pushed that one too far ahead of Liam Flynn. And Wasps, you would think, would just throw this to the air and just get it out of the danger zone as we go into the final 10 seconds or so of the first quarter. Jamie Walsh just glances at the scoreboard, wastes a few more seconds, and then just pushes it up to halfway and over the sideline as the players start to make their way over to the sideline for the refreshments at the end of the first quarter. And it's been a thriller. And it's been the perfect start for Hale. 2 goals scored by Liam Flynn. First set up by Alec Rasmussen and then by Josh Belts. So going into the first break, it is Hale 2, Wasps 0. Welcome back to the Perth Hockey Stadium. Hale just getting their final instructions from the coaching staff. It seems to be Josh Belts and Tim Deven doing a lot of the talking down there. And they would be, I'm sure, just saying, keep your concentration and let's just try and get another goal, because it's been an absolutely perfect start for them. Liam Flynn with 2 goals in the first quarter, taking his tally for the season up to 27 goals in this his 23rd match. So Wasps to get the second quarter underway. The hoot is gone, the whistle goes, and we can get proceedings underway. Comes wide now to Kale Walsh. This is the quarter where we need to see a response from Wasps if they're going to get anything out of this match. Rainey again plays a blind pass, and at the moment it's his passes that are causing problems and turnovers. He needs to just concentrate on finding his teammate rather than going for the percentage ball. Given away as Hale just cramped them down the side, and now Josh Belts has to just retreat a little bit to create some space for himself. Deven and Belts making themselves available, and a good run down the right-hand side coming from Sam Ashton, but he couldn't keep the ball in play. Once again, just like to thank our sponsors, Kookaburra, hockey's #1 partnership, Danks Furniture, proudly Western Australian, proudly the sponsors of Hale Hockey Club, and of course Tiger Turf as well. 3 different systems. Thank them for their support throughout the season and also in the finals series coming to you in the next few weeks as we stream all of the finals matches in the men's and the women's grades. Pearce just turns and pulls away from Flint. At the moment, though, there is a swarm of blue shirts as Deven wins the ball back, manages to feed it to King. King gets inside the circle, back to Deven, up it pops, and well, it's a penalty corner as it came up off the defender's stick. No complaints from the Wasps players, but good combination play again from Braden King and Tim Deven, the old master and the young pretender. So second penalty corner of the match. Once again, we have Flynn waiting, and doing the stopping for him at the first battery is Braden King. And then it's Deven at the second, with Cock waiting. Well, I thought that went just before the whistle, but it's Flynn who flicks it, and it is going to be a goal, and it's a hat-trick to Liam Flynn. Just 2 minutes into the second quarter, he manages to flick that one high to Richardson's right-hand side. Well, I thought the ball was injected just before the whistle went. But anyway, the goal is going to stand. And Wasps now find themselves in a little bit of trouble. So 17 minutes, Liam Flynn has completed his hat-trick. As I mentioned, he got a hat-trick against Wasps in round 15. And that was a 3-3 draw. But Belts coming forward, takes on Pearce, takes a tumble. Play on was the call. And now a card is going to be issued. Green card to Duncan Pearce. Again, Hale playing on too quickly. And that's just not happening at the moment for Wasps. Ball thrown to the air, brought down well by Lachlan Ashton, and that's a very good tackle coming in by Murray McIntyre, coming back and helping out the defence, but it meant nobody was forward when the ball was played out of the circle. Now Deven, space around the circle, feeds it again. Shot wrong side of the post, this time from Jeff Cock. Cock had so much space, but he just couldn't get it the right side of the post. Comes wide to Gibbs. He's got a little bit of space now if he wants to use it. Closed down very quickly. Pass was a good one to DeBez. Comes across to Mitten. Wallace does well. Keeps it in play. Only clears it, though, as far as Mitten. Mitten sweeps it, and it goes to DeBez. It's cleared well off the goalkeeper's pads. So Ben Rennie, good block from him. First real touch he's had in the match. Comes back to Gibbs again. Wasps have got another chance to create something. Murray McIntyre, though, under immense pressure from Wallace. Couldn't bring it under control. Just slowing things down, Justin Knapp. Ashton, back to Knapp again. Wallace. Blake Wallace, who moved to Perth in 2017, originally from Tasmania, but had a spell up in Queensland, played for Queensland under-21s. That's intercepted just too easily. Rainey was like a statue, laid back, top of the circle, trying to create some space for a shot. Didn't manage to do so was Ferguson, and in the end he concedes a free hit. And now he's played the ball before going the 5 metres. He's picked up a green card, and he makes his way over to the side. So both teams at the moment down to 10. Pearce due back on any minute. In fact, he's just been replaced by Lachlan Sampson. And once again, Wasps not bringing the ball under control. It was a good pass forward to Mitten, but it just went underneath his stick. Lachlan Ashton, time as Mitten closes down. Ashton goes infield. It comes up off the stick of Gibbs, and danger again created, but King involved once more for Hale. Goes square to Belts, who lovely little pirouette from him. Josh Belts, the king of the dance floor. Rasmussen comes back and helps out. Gets a little push in the back as well from Kale Walsh. Walsh now has to close down Belts. Belts again goes back into his own half as there's no outlet going forward. Patience from Hale. And why not, as Liam Flynn now gets out-muscled, but he gets the free hit. It was a Dylan Deere strong tackle from behind, and now Flynn concedes the free hit. I must admit, Liam Flynn, every time the decision goes against him, he looks to the heavens. And there's a little bit of space now for Wasps on the left-hand side. Belts came back really quickly, Mitten, but that is brilliant defence. Wallace coming across, sliding and making sure the ball never found Joel Mitten, and that he protected Ben Rennie from having to make a save. Great defence from Wallace. Flicked in the air. Gibbs should bring that down. He's going to be closed down by Rasmussen. Rasmussen steals it away from Brandon Gibbs, just like taking sweets from a child. So Pearce back on. Just need a spark at the moment in the midfield. They're just being overrun. Wasps by a really energetic, well-organised Hale. Desperation reaching Justin Knapp again. Managed to get that. Belts. Back to Knapp again. Wallace. Takes his time. No one going to close him down, so able to play the ball wide. Rasmussen again, trying to play a 1-2 down the right-hand side, but unfortunately just put too much pace on the pass, and over the side it went. Gibbs stretched again to get that under control. Played forward. Sampson, though, never gets to him as Bowen steals possession back for Hale. And Gibbs concedes yet another free hit for Wasps. Carried forward by Cock. Looks to feed it out to... That's a good pass in the end, and another penalty corner conceded. And the shoulders slump from the Wasps players. Now the crowd is growing on the bank to our left, and they're enjoying some wonderful hockey. And the big question is, will this be a fourth goal for Hale before the half-time break? Bowen doing the injecting. And this time we have Cock. And I think alongside him, is it Josh Belts? It is indeed. So Jeff Cock will be the option. Again, he flicked it to the left-hand side. Good save, Richardson. Comes back to Cock again. There's equipment come off inside, and there's a stick check, so it will be a free hit to Wasps. But the postman doing a really good job with the initial save, and then Richardson well positioned to make the second save And Wasps keep themselves in this game, but still trailing by 3-0. Just taken over the side that time by Braden King. Hale Walsh plays it down the line. Chance for Murray McIntyre to try and spark something. Looks up. Into the circle it goes, and Ashton over the side. Long corner to Wasps. Murray McIntyre missing his striking partner, Trent Mitten. Trent Mitten, of course, not with the Kookaburras with a hamstring tear, but he's here assisting the coaching. Now it's Pearce, shoots, and Rennie just deflects it over the baseline. Another long corner to Wasps. Got 2 balls on the pitch, so ball patrol come on, grab one, and then we can get on with things. Walsh. That's a good ball inside the circle, laid across the face of goal. Great save from Rennie to deny Murray McIntyre, and then Gibbs mistraps, and it goes into his shin. Well, Sampson was involved again along the baseline, and he's the danger man to me, in that if he can get in behind the defence and run along the baseline for Wasps, he can then find players like McIntyre. But let's give Ben Rennie some credit. That was a really good save by him. Former Scotch College boy. He's only ever played his hockey for Hale, Ben Rennie. Well, I say that, but he did have a spell in Scotland. I meant he only ever played for Hale here in Western Australia. Played for Kelburn in Scotland, 2015-16. Good to see, even though it's a tough tussle out there, smiles on the faces of the players. And once more taken, I think, from the wrong spot. Tim Deven over the ball again. Bowen plays it in, easily claimed by Gibbs. Miles Hale put a lot of pace on that pass. King showing a real calmness that belies his age. Lachlan Ashton finds Flynn. Ashton continues his run. Flynn looks to cut him field on his own, then tried to feed it through to Ashton and managed to find the shins of Hale Walsh. Walsh played the ball away. Lucky he didn't pick up a card there, as Deven now has the ball into the zone player's shins that time. So it will be a Wasps ball. Looking to play on with it quickly. That is a good pass forward to Sampson in a bit of space. And again, just the stick coming across there from Jeff Cock, breaking up the attack and just killing the momentum. Dylan Deere loses out, though. And that was kept well in the end, as it looked as if Josh Bowen had lost possession. Flynn again has got around the back of the defence, and he's, well, did he find the foot? No, he didn't. It was all stick from Hale Walsh. Well, short little pass to Joe Robinson, and Robinson plays it up the side. It goes off the Hale stick, and it will be Wasps ball just outside the 23-metre line as we go into the last 4 minutes of the second quarter. Wasps trailing by 3-0, and at the moment you just wonder where the goals are going to come from. And that's another free hit. Good run once more from Paul Robertson this time. And when we streamed the match against Fremantle, Wasps moved the ball. And today we're seeing players trying to do it on their own, and you just need to let the ball do the work. And that time, Pearce's pass intercepted by Deven. Good movement comes to Rasmussen. Rasmussen, as Richardson advances, plays it straight into his pads. Good goalkeeping by James Richardson. Flynn now to Belts. Belts tries to play it first time into the path of Jeff Cock, but it was just too far ahead of him and goes out of play. You can just see the pace at which Hale are moving the ball compared to the pace at which Wasps are moving it at the moment. And it's just played over the side. Nobody in that position. And the turnovers mounting. Deven happy to go back to Blake Wallace. Oh, what a turn again from Josh Belts. The way he received that and just turned Rainey. Rainey maybe overcommitted a little bit, but Josh Belts just used his body and the reach of his arms so well. Gibbs now brings it down for Wasps. Pushes it forward for Joel Mitten. Mitten faced with Knapp, and eventually it goes over the baseline for another long corner. Daniel Rainey over the ball for Wasps, plays it square, was really asking a lot of Joe Robinson, and it's another errant pass from Rainey. That's a wonderful steal by Sampson again, and Pearce wanting the free hit, and he gets it, and it should be surely a penalty corner, you would have thought, for a foul like that, but maybe not. I think that's what Wasps players were looking for. They wanted a penalty corner rather than a free hit. Taken by Rainey, south passes, tries to play it in, gives possession away. And in the end, it's Bryn Debes who concedes the free hit to Hale. Final minute and a half in the second quarter. Once again, just like to thank FMG and Osdrill for their support as well of the live streams. Robinson plays it forward. Force back, good work by Devon. Robertson, nowhere to go. He managed, though, to find, in the end, it was a fan Daniel Rainey, and Rainey's won a free hit. He's also played the ball forward. Not sure if that went off the foot of Bowen. I think it did, yes. So it's a free hit on the pitch rather than from the sideline. Jamie Walsh now goes square to Joe Robinson. Robinson looking up as he comes forward. The defender was always standing ahead of Murray McIntyre, and Justin Knapp says, thank you very much. That was easy. Liam Flynn now, through the legs he goes. Stolen back, though, by Robinson into the circle. Nobody there, though, for Wasps. And that's cracked forward and very nearly into the path of Sam Ashton. Sam Ashton was involved in that opening goal where they unlocked the Wasps defence. I think it was his pass to Alec Rasmussen, who then picked out Liam Flynn. Just coming off the foot there of Flynn. So Bryn Debes with a free hit. Cracks it into the circle again, easily defended by Hale. And Devon slows things down. And the players will come out of the sunlight into the shade for the halftime break. But it's been a very dominant display by Hale as they go into the halftime break with the lead, courtesy of a Liam Flynn hat-trick. It is Hale Hockey Club 3, Wasps 0. Welcome back to the Perth Hockey Stadium. It is half-time in this qualifying final, and at the moment Hale in the box seat, leading by 3-0. Liam Flynn with a hat-trick scored in 17 minutes. And Flynn, who is, of course, the league's top scorer for the 3rd season in a row. So he is really the man to look out to, elevated to the National Development Squad this year. And I suppose if you keep scoring goals, eventually the selectors have to look at you. The big question, though, is there a way back for Wasps in this second half? They've just been chasing shadows in the first 30 minutes, as Hale have moved the ball so well and dominated the midfield. And it's just a time now where Wasps have got to start finding their teammates and letting the ball do the work, rather than trying to do it individually. Liam Flynn over the ball to get the second half underway. Pushes back to Belts. Whereas stolen now by Wasps, and Brynda Bears gets the free hit. You would think a nice goal early in this third quarter would just give them the lift they needed to make a match of it. They did get a 3-3 draw, as I mentioned, in round 15. Hale won 3-2, and the last time that Wasps got a victory against Hale was 2017 in this very match, the qualifying final, where they won 4-2. Well, they're going to have to do more than that this time around. Rainey carries forward now. Rainey continues to go, wins a free hit. That'll do his confidence a bit of good. Gibbs, though, loses out once more. Knapp just holds things up. Knapp turns into Gibbs and luckily gets away with it. Knapp shows again a lot of the ball and then gets the free hit decision from the umpire. Gibbs, well, was that deliberate? Lesatrovic says no. So Justin Knapp, who's made the most appearances by any player at Hale in the first grade, such a key component for them at the back, is now coming back to help out. It's Jeff Cock. He's worked really hard in this match for Hale. In fact, if you had to pick a player of the match, it would be so hard because everyone for Hale at the moment has done their job well. Lachlan Sampson goes back. Robinson now looks to fire that down the line, and Sampson was the one trying to make the run, but picked up easily by Braden King, who is so calm under pressure. King again, just keeping the ball in place, turned into trouble, but Sampson, having stolen it, go over the baseline. Braden King, as I said, he's a young player with big raps on him as he plays it forward. But he says that his sister Jess, who's older than him, is the one who keeps him grounded. Sometimes you need an older sister to do that. Almost a very good touch by Cock at the top of the circle, but the clearance goes just to Josh Belts. Wallace. So Hale, as I mentioned at the start of the match, have scored the most goals in the competition this year. These three taking it to 85 goals now. In this, their 23rd match, which is a very, very good average. The actual competition averaged 5 goals a game over the season. So there's been a lot of goals scored in the Premier 1 grade. Jamie Walsh goes back to brother Cale. Pierce, their adopted brother, so to speak. And again, just played too hard by Brynda Bears, just forcing his pass, trying to play it into the path of Dylan Deere. Braden King to Josh Belts. Again, knew exactly who was around him when he received that pass, and it showed with the movement he made when he received it. Cock doesn't get the decision. He thought it had gone over the side before it hit his foot, and the umpire felt it hit his foot before it went over the side. Almost a very good pass all the way through the centre of the field, but then again, Mitney just clipping his foot. Collected well by Rasmussen. Rasmussen to Josh Bowen. Bowen in a really tough tussle with Bryn de Bez, and the decision goes Bryn de Bez's way. Bowen doesn't agree with that decision. Josh Bowen, who's an under-21s player, played his 100th game this season just last weekend against Melville. 4th player for Hale to reach 100 Premier Grade games this year as Devon comes back to prevent the ball going forward, but it will be a free hit to Wasps just on the 23-metre line. Still searching for a goal to give them a lifeline in this match. Jamie Walsh makes his way forward. Wall of blue shirts, pushes it wide. Brother Hale advances, short little pass from him to Rainey. Back to Hale Walsh, looking to play that into the circle, but it's, or across the face of goal, but it's Tim Devon came across, up off his stick it came, into the body of Walsh. And so the first penalty corner of the match for Wasps. Well, we mentioned how many goals Hale had scored from penalty corners this season, which was 18. It's actually Wasps have scored more. They've scored 23. And are one of the leading exponents from penalty corners. So this could be a crucial moment in the match. Jamie Walsh standing at the top of the circle. Alongside him is Brandon Gibbs. Sampson stopping for Gibbs. Rainey stopping for Walsh. Walsh, and it's a sharp save from Rennie. His left pad coming across really well. It was an awkward height for a goalkeeper. It's at a knee height, but he came across and blocked it well. That's a great deflection into the circle, but unfortunately just caught the heel of Daniel Rainey. So Rennie now having to dispose of all the protective gear. And the form he's in, looking at that, it's going to be very hard to beat him today. Ashton just keeps the ball in down the side. Ball is played forward. It's missed this time by Sampson. Chance to get along the back from Sam Ashton. Lays it back. Shot comes in just wide of the post. Well, that was not that far away from Michael Ferguson. I think he was quite surprised to have so much time and space at the top of the circle. Never really got a clean hit on it. Bryn de Bez picks up now for Wasps. He's closed down by Devon, and Belts comes across. Free hit conceded, though, by Hale for a foul. Hale Walsh, it took a deflection off Ferguson. Devon has stolen it back away from Rainey. Plays it into space. Ferguson chasing and chasing, but he's not going to beat the ball. So Wasps down by the corner flag. Hale Walsh again. He'll probably flick across the field. Almost stolen away, and just that attempt to bring that down by Josh Belts put the Wasps player off. It was Brandon Gibbs. Wallace comes wide to Lachlan Ashton. Good pass from him, stolen away by Wasps. Murray McIntyre will go short to Lachlan Sampson. Sampson this time, it's a good pass forward from him, managing to pick out Nathan Keogh. Keogh has fed it forward to Bryn de Bez. De Bez into the circle. It's going to be won by McIntyre. McIntyre shoots. What a shot on the turn by Murray McIntyre. He has given Wasps a lifeline. Well, that was a good build-up where they moved the ball well, and Wasps have finally got a goal back. And the question is, can they get any more? So we've just got just under 8 minutes left in the third quarter. So Murray McIntyre playing his 544th game for Wasps. Gets just another goal to add to his tally. He's won pretty much everything there is to win in the game. He's never actually won, though, the Olympians medal, which, as someone said to me last weekend, that's probably because he's been such a great team player. Well, it would be quite a comeback if Wasps can get back in this match. Hale have been so dominant throughout, and you just wonder whether that goal will give them the jitters a little bit. Suddenly at 3-2, it would be a very different match. Miles Hale plays it wide to Sampson. Sampson's ball into the circle's block. Comes to McIntyre again. That was a really brave challenge from Blake Wallace, but a penalty corner has been awarded. So, and Tim Deven just holding his shoulder. Hopefully there's nothing too serious there. He's not holding it anymore, so maybe just a slight little knock. Well, the momentum has shifted with that goal from McIntyre. He nearly got another strike at goal. And now with another penalty corner, you just wonder what is possible. Brandon Gibbs makes his way down to the baseline. Duncan Pearce is on this time. He's at the first battery. Lachlan Sampson's at the second. I can't see Sampson going with this. I think it will be Duncan Pearce. Goes to the first battery. Pearce flicks. Took a deflection. Well, I thought it took a deflection, but it's been called a 16. Just seemed as if the ball changed direction suddenly just after it was flicked. No complaints, though, from the Wasps players. Justin Knapp closed down, but he manages to find Lachlan Ashton. Good little stick poke from McIntyre. Knapp again, little flick of the wrists as he goes to the air. Cale Walsh watched it all the way onto his reverse stick, and then encroaching into that space was Sam Ashton. Brandon Gibbs surrounded by Hale players. Rainey, good little pass, lifted it over the stick. Infield, and Joel Mitten loses possession to Brandon King. King on the ball again. Braden King, rather. Miles Cale took a deflection off him, so Hale ball from the side. Liam Flynn will leave that for Tim Deven. Deven first times it. Richardson lets it run into the goal. So 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Brought down by Flynn. Keeping it in play. No, he can't. Which gives me a chance again just to thank the sponsors. Kookaburra, Tiger Turf, Danks Furniture, Ausdrill and FMG. Dylan Deere. Pearce, that's a good pass through the middle and into the circle. Well, tried to go was Brynda Bez. He was thwarted by Justin Knapp at the edge of the circle. And then stick check coming from Wasps. I think DeBez is still feeling that he should have got a free hit as he was impeded going into the circle. Umpire obviously feeling that Justin Knapp just stood his ground. Jamie Walsh brings that down. Good awareness from Jeff Cock not to attempt to play the ball as he was in that 5 metre space. Free hit now to Wasps just outside the circle. Jamie Walsh self-passes, looks to slide it in. It took a deflection. Deven carries it out of the circle for Hale. Manages to pick out Rasmussen. Rasmussen's got pace. One hand on the stick here. Looks to attack Cale Walsh. Rasmussen managed to find the foot of Cale Walsh and will be a free hit to Hale just inside the 23 metres. Rasmussen waited for support, then goes happily back to Justin Knapp. King, just a mistrap from him, one of the first ones we've seen today, and the free hit goes against Joel Mitten, which, well, a few people felt was a little bit harsh in the crowd. That's a good collection inside the circle by Cock. Across the face of goal, Flynn was there, Rasmussen was there, but neither could get a touch, and Richardson can breathe easy. Duncan Pearce. Oh, surrounded by players, did really well. Managed to feel it to Brynda Bez, and Belts, well, did he hook DeBez's stick, and DeBez in the end did very well to get a free hit. Now it's played wide to Joel Mitten. Mitten faced with King. Loses out to King. Another really good tackle by Braden King. Now it's Josh Bowen. So just when they need it, Hale are managing to defend really well, and it's the youngsters leading the way, Bowen and King. Although we should say that there's also some great leadership at the back coming from Justin Knapp as well. Well, that is, yeah, deflected up by Cale Walsh, and Devon and Walsh in a bit of a tussle there as Devon plays it early. Jamie Walsh gets a deflection, and Belts was in there, and he's like, can't believe that he didn't manage to get a touch on that because the goal was at his mercy. Richardson, I think, had just lost the ball momentarily. Shot on the turn, and it goes into the sideboard of the goal. Jeff Cock, though, happy to have a go. They're 3-0 up. 4 you would think would seal the game as Rainey now has space in the midfield, but he dallied on it too long and stolen away from him by Tim Devon. Brandon Gibbs, well, he's managed to steal it back from Devon, and the use of the body there results in a free hit. Blake Wallace just pushing his backside into the Wasps player, preventing him to get past him. Belts now in the corner. Good skills from Josh Belts. And he wins the free hit. Now looks to get on with play quickly. Took a deflection, had to be watched all the way by Jamie Walsh. Good steal by Rasmussen. Walsh, though, managed to get it back. And they're claiming it was off the knee. I thought that was all stick. I thought that was actually a well-timed tackle. It was right below our commentary position. And I must admit, I think it came off the stick of Jamie Walsh. And Brodie Foster sticking to his guns. And there's still a conversation going on down below us between Hale players and the umpire. But that almost looked as if it went onto the back stick as well of Blake Wallace, but obviously deemed play on. Free hit's gone against Wasps, and in the final minute, Bowen tries to play that towards the circle. Robinson watched it all the way onto his stick. He's going to get closed down by Devon. Cock now will get that ball. Time is the enemy at the moment in this quarter for Hale, but that's a really good pass to Benji Austin, and that's a really important block coming from Lachlan Sampson. Austin from the side now. Devon first times it. Rainey got there, pushes it wide to Sampson. Devon got there ahead of him. Knapp plays the ball square. Quick glance at the clock, and then just smashed forward, and that will be the final play, you would think, as it goes to Flint. Well, there were a couple of seconds left, and Flint could have got that under control. The hooter now goes, and the players make their way off for the final break. And the big question is, can Hale hang on to this 2-goal lead that they have at the moment, or is there a way for Wasps to come back? The score at the final break is Hale 3, Wasps 1. Welcome back to the Perth Hockey Stadium as the final quarter in this qualifying final about to get underway. Second placed Hale at the end of the season taking on third placed Wasps. And Hale in the box seat at the moment, leading by 3-1. And the big question is, can Wasps get the first goal early in this final quarter? Because that will give them a little bit of hope to get back in this match and take us to extra time. Liam Flynn over the ball for Hale. Whistle goes. He delays his pass back to Josh Belts, and Stolen by Wasps. Belts, though, got it back. There was a little bit of confusion, and I think it was just the fact that couldn't find the ball was Paul Robertson. Just ball moving a little bit quicker by Wasps. Robinson now. Down the line he goes. It was not brought under control by Brynda Bears, and Justin Knapp stole it. Now needing to step ahead was Gibbs, and he did. Devon. Gibbs got a little bit of a touch, but still got the pass to Belts. Now it's Josh Bowen. Plays it into the body of Kale Walsh. Bowen was looking to play on quickly. In the end, he self-passes. Will look to play to Devon. Instead, he goes past Walsh. Bowen to the baseline. Bowen inside the circle, and Walsh just over the baseline it goes. Well, a 16 given, claiming that Josh Bowen had the final touch. Brynda Bears, he's just not got that under control. He has got it under control now. King was playing close attention. Sampson pushes it forward. Chasing hard is Robertson. Player gone down behind play. It was Brynda Bears, and an apology from Josh Belts. Ball out of defence, going straight over the side, so another chance for Wasps to have possession and use it. Duncan Pearce carries it forward, pursued all the way, manages to pick out Rainey. Rainey, good pass to Lachlan Sampson. Wallace just took it away from him for a moment. Sampson turns, Wallace steals it back, brilliant by him. Feeds it to Devon. Devon got a bump from Sampson, and Devon, with all the years of experience he's got, knows how to ride those bumps and draw the whistle from the umpire. Braden King feeds it into Tim Devon again. Devon rides the challenge from behind. Sampson involved there. Robinson manages to feed it to Robertson. Robertson to Sampson, but he can't keep it in play. It's just been a game of those margins for Wasps. They've played the passes and just haven't stuck. Blake Wallace again, slowing things down for Hale. They just need the clock to keep coming down at the moment. Benji Austin, what a pass. Alec Rasmussen, oh, well, the commitment was there, and he slaps his thigh in frustration. He had the pace to get across their slid, but just couldn't keep it in play. Kale Walsh out of defence. It's been missed, so Robertson picks it up now for Wasps. Robertson, though, runs into trouble. He runs into Devon. It's one back, though, by Dylan Deere. Dylan Deere, they played it forward into the shins of Duncan Pearce, who played the ball away after the whistle. He's had one card already in this match, so he doesn't want to get another one. It's a yellow card, and 5 minutes would not be what Wasps need. Deflection is there, and it is, believe it or not, a fourth goal for Liam Flint. Nobody picking him up, just in front of James Richardson. And he just says, thank you very much. He just bent down, took a deflection, and Flynn gets a fourth. It's the Liam Flynn show here, it really is. Well, that's not what Wasps wanted in this last quarter, because they've now got a mountain again to climb. It will mean they get another chance, though. They're not out of the finals completely. And that's been, well, I thought it had been won by Rainey, but he's won a penalty corner instead. So can Wasps cancel that goal out immediately? If ever they needed a goal, they need it now. So Brynda Bez makes his way to the baseline. Jamie Walsh waits at the second battery. Brandon Gibbs at the first. Last time against Fremantle, Jamie Walsh went from that second castle and swept it across the keeper. It goes to him. He sweeps it low. Flicked it very, very low, and he's got the goal again. The same tactic working really well for Wasps. I think the last time he went high, this time he went low. So it is 4-2. And within a minute of conceding a goal, Wasps have got a goal back. So we're back to a 2-goal game. Of course, 3 years ago or 2 years ago, it was 4-2 in favour of Wasps in this similar match. Rasmussen, down the line he goes, finds Lachlan Ashton. Ashton just trying to dink it past Jamie Walsh. He did well, finds Rainey. Rainey needs to move it quickly. Rainey again closed down. Good skills from him down the sideline. That hit the foot of Rasmussen, so Rainey wins a free hit. Rainey now flicks it into space. There's a couple of options there. Lachlan Sampson lets it run. Sampson gets it now. Lost control of it, and that meant Hale were able to seize it back, and now there's a chance for them to counter-attack. Coming across is Dylan Deere. Deere loses out to Liam Flynn. Flynn inside the circle, surely not. Saved by Richardson. Dylan Deere now pushes it wide. Brandon Gibbs keeps it in play for Wasps. Nobody's really coming forward, and Deven forces him up the sideline. Gibbs, though, still going. Eventually, Deven gets a touch and then runs back to get the ball back. His ball forward, though, is given straight back to Wasps. Now it's Duncan Pearce. He plays it forward. Miles Cale. Little short pass to Brandon Gibbs. Gibbs, though, dispossessed this time by Sam Ashton. The Hale tackling has been first class in this match. Benji Austin. And it's beaten to Wasps player, but in the end, Jamie Walsh gets it under control. Played forward, Braden King managing to pick out Deven, and Ferguson can't get on the end of that pass from Deven. But it will be a ball from the side right in the final third of the pitch. Comes to Jamie Walsh. He's closed down, and Walsh's pass was errant. And there's a chance now. Wild swing from Claxton. Sampson cuts infield. Belts withdraws the tackle and too far ahead of Murray McIntyre. You could see the idea was a good one, but just again, the pass too far ahead of the player. Another good pass, but unfortunately on the reverse stick, Sam Ashton just didn't bring it under control for Hale. We're in the halfway stage of the final quarter. Hale still really with a strong position in this match. Liam Flynn will get the headlines, but if you look as a team, and as we heard from Tim Deven, he feels that they've got other goal scorers. Scoreboard today would say otherwise, but Liam Flynn now with 4 goals today, 29 in 23 games. The next highest scorer is Jeff Cock with 12 and Tim Deven with 11. And Hale, the only team in the competition with 3 goal scorers in double figures. Wasps have 2 in Duncan Pearce with 19, Trent Mitten, who's injured, with 14. That was played into the foot of Sampson. And all these delays just eating up time that Wasps can't afford to lose. Robinson, you can hear down below the coaching staff, Stuart Van Selm just telling all the Hale players to get back. He wants them to sit deeper defensively. That looked as if it was the foot, and it is indeed. Dylan Deere winning a free hit for Wasps. And they've pulled the goalkeeper, Wasps, so they now have the 11 outfield players. No goalkeeper's privileges these days, so Nobody has the kicking rights inside the circle. Good work again by Gibbs, but he won't keep it in play. Stolen away from him by Braden King. King in the corner. And with Liam Flynn lurking high up the pitch, you would think it's very dangerous, but Wasps have got to do something in this match. They've got the extra man, and that was why obviously the defence was, or the Hale coaching staff were asking for all their players to get back as quickly as possible. Thrown over the top, and it's collected, and this is a real danger now as well into the... Oh, a stroke has been given. Is it? No, it's... for a second I saw the umpire's arm up in the air, but it was lifted too high. That was the call, Lachlan Sampson. So we've still got over 5 minutes left in the match. So Wasps playing with the extra outfield player. Will it pay dividends? Can they find a goal from somewhere? Can Hale hang on? That's the question. Turn from Miles Cale is a good one. Manages to keep possession. Sampson looks to feed it down the middle. And again, desperation from Blake Wallace. We saw it in the first half. Outstanding tackle by him. And that time, a really good interception. Jamie Walsh just being told where he is to take the long corner from. Walsh slides it top of the circle. In it goes. Devon mistrapped. Somehow, though, it broke for Hale. It was actually Wallace, I think, who got the ball away once more. Lachlan Sampson going to the baseline, trying to find a way along the baseline, but Wallace blocked his path. Wallace, and it's a penalty corner. And Wasps have got another penalty corner, and this could be the point. And Murray McIntyre, the veteran who's had so many games, calming things down, which was really good to see. He was the first player in trying to stop any friction that may have been there. And the umpires also conversing. Looked to me as if Benji Austin was the one who was getting involved and had a little bit to say. Benji Austin, who used to play for Northwest Grads in Hobart before moving across to Perth. So Duncan Pearce, who's the second highest goal scorer from penalty corners in the competition this year. Only James Day and Melville ahead of him. He's at the top of the circle. So too is Walsh. It's going to come to Jamie Walsh. He looked to feed it, and Blake Wallace, and they're claiming it was a foul, but play is continuing. Walsh is down injured. Liam Flynn on the ball. Wasps getting players behind the ball. And there's a bad injury. It looks to me, I think, as if Walsh may have popped his shoulder, but play continues. Rasmussen plays it wide to Cock. Cock fires it in, and that's a brilliant block by Duncan Pearce. Well, Jamie Walsh is in trouble. There's no doubt about that. His arm is just hanging by his side as he comes off. Or maybe it's his hand. He's moving it, so that's a good sign, but it just looked for a second as if it was the shoulder. But certainly Wasps players felt that they were impeded at that penalty corner, didn't get the decision, and play came up the other end, and Hale very nearly got a fifth. Now it's Josh Belts from the long corner. Looks to play it square, and a mistrap from Braden King. There are just under 4 minutes left. Pearce looks to play out of defence. Cock impedes him. And there's no whistle again. Oh, but that is some pass. And Murray McIntyre, though, it just caught the shin. And there is a yellow card now issued for the challenge on Duncan Pearce. I think it was Rasmussen. So he will play no further part in this match. No, it was actually Jeff Cock. My apologies. It didn't look like Rasmussen, but it was Jeff Cock who's got 5 minutes on the side. As Wasps go on the attack, through the legs it goes. It's bobbling everywhere at the moment. Wallace looks to clear it, and eventually it is cleared up the pitch by Benji Austin. 3 minutes left in the match. Wasps looking for 2 goals. They pulled the goalkeeper. Well, now it would be about 4 minutes ago. Cale Walsh. Brynda Bez to Duncan Pearce. Pearce helps it down the line. Robinson now. Another good pass. Rainey's inside the circle. Up it goes. That's surely danger. Penalty corner. So it is another penalty corner for Wasps, but this time Jamie Walsh is off the pitch. He's down below us, I think waiting to come back on. Brynda Bez goes back down to the baseline. Duncan Pearce waits, Brandon Gibbs wait. Rainey will stop for Pearce. Sampson will stop for Gibbs. Murray McIntyre is short on the left-hand side. DeBez injects, it goes to Pearce. Pearce flicks, great save Rennie. Rennie throwing his body to the left-hand side, brilliant save. Across the top of the circle, again it goes in for Wasps. It's going to be retrieved by Murray McIntyre. Turns, shoots, deflection off the defender. Well, that was so close. Justin Knapp's stick, I think, got the final touch. Wrong-footed Rennie, but Rennie still managed to keep the ball out. Played into the foot of Josh Belts. Jamie Walsh is back out there. Played it to Kale Walsh. Now they're going to get caught at the back. There's sheer pace coming now from Rasmussen. Rasmussen breaking forward, looks to play the ball square to Flynn. Flynn with an open goal. Flynn gets a fifth. Hale get a fifth. And the game is surely wrapped up now. What a performance by Liam Flynn. Well, Rasmussen incredibly unselfish, feeding it to his strike partner, and has really made sure that the game is now in the hands of Hale. Oh, well, that came from absolutely nowhere. Brynda Bez pulls one back again. And so 5-3 is the score now. Brynda Bez just absolutely smashing that. Well, I mentioned 36 goals in the last 7 meetings, an average of 5. We've had 8 in this now, so 44 goals in 8 matches between these two teams. Certainly it's a game never to be missed. We're in the final minute. They're still back to a goal, 2-goal margin. And I don't think that Wasps can get 2 within a minute. I've only seen it done once before. Career under-21s did it against Malaysia in the Junior Asia Cup. And the ball just thrown forward, and that will eat up time. Jamie Walsh wants the ball from the ball patrol. Well, Hale will continue their march in these final series. Club formed in 1905. It was June the 30th. For the first time ever, they're both teams top of the ladder as McIntyre shoots again. But he's gone wide, and that will be the last action from this match. And it is Hale who've come out on top in this first qualifying final. So they have really done superbly well today. It was really those 2 goals in the first quarter gave them a really good cushion. Liam Flynn scoring in the 4th and 7th minute. He got a 3rd in the second quarter, and then he scored 2 in the final quarter. So Liam Flynn with 5 goals in the match, making it really difficult for Wasps. But the final score here, Hale 5, Wasps 3.